So the G30, we're adding on to the G30 family, which already includes the regular G30 version and the SF Tech version, which stands for Straight Flight Technology. So right now we have those two versions, which are have a lot of power to them in terms of technology to help you launch the ball high with the right amount of spin and fit you for your shot shape tendencies. We're adding on to that this year at the PGA show with the LS Tech version, which stands for low spin technology. But what makes this driver unique is that it still launches really high and the launch conditions are still extremely stable. And so the weighting has moved forward slightly, but it's still extremely deep center of gravity. So the force line of the center of gravity through the face, where it intersects the face, is a little bit lower. That influences the impact gearing, which increases launch, lower spin at the same time. The high inertia characteristics give the stable launch conditions. So if you're a golfer out there that even with the G30 model, you're getting good launch numbers, but you need to get your launch angle up maybe a degree, but you want to keep your spin where it is, maybe get it down a couple hundred RPMs, this is a fantastic model to look at. So now we really feel like we have the whole product portfolio in the G30 driver complete in terms of being able to fit virtually every golfer out there. Obviously with all the other technologies involved, which makes this driver really stable, go really straight, but we still get the club head speed boost from the turbulators. A lot of shaft technology built in, the trajectory tuning technology in the hosel, which is very lightweight and slim, really good for aerodynamics. It's simple, doesn't require a user's manual, allows you to fine-tune your launch conditions.
Now there's some companies they're going with to lower the spin, they move the weight forward. Is there a reason why you'd like to still keep the weight back?
Keeping the weight back is crucial in terms of creating perimeter weighting in a driver design. So perimeter weighting in drivers looks much different than irons. In drivers, because the center of gravity is in the middle of this hollow volume, we actually don't want to put big cavities in the face, or we don't want to move the CG forward, so we get good mass balance between the mass in the face and the mass low and back. So when you have a big kind of dumbbell type of weight distribution, a lot of weight on the perimeters, and in a driver it's mass back and mass forward. That's really what drives the stability characteristics, which ultimately is going to help deliver really stable launch conditions, and when you miscue it a little bit, it's still going to go pretty close to the same as when you hit it perfect.
Cool.
The Cadence putter family is really unique. Something that we've always wondered in engineering, in the engineering department, and we've always noticed is that players who have a faster tempo putting stroke generally putt it better with a lighter headweight putter. Players with a more deliberate, slower stroke generally putt it better with heavier putters or counterbalance or alternative techniques. Well, we did a bunch of science to prove that theory, and indeed it was correct. So the players that have a faster tempo ratio, so when we look at the amount of time of the backstroke as a ratio of the time of the forward stroke, when that number is 1.8, 1.5, or 1.8, 1.7 and faster, those putters naturally gravitate towards and statistically putt better and more consistent with putter headweights that are under 350 grams, 340, 330 grams. So in our Cadence family, we have we're calling it traditionally head-weighted putters, which have an aluminum face insert that establish the headweights, depending on the model, somewhere between 340 and 350. Putters who have a slower, more deliberate stroke, and you can putt great either way. It's just kind of a natural, everyone's a little bit different in their natural cadence of their stroke. So if you have a more deliberate stroke in terms of your tempo ratio, we make a version of the Cadence that has a stainless steel insert that increases the headweights by 25 to 30 grams over the aluminum insert. So we have a myriad of different models and blades, mid-mallets, mallets. We still have all the fitting characteristics of stroke type to match your stroke, but we're adding on to our fitting methodology with something that we've always known. Now we have a way to measure it. iPing is fantastic for measuring tempo ratios, very accurate. So this is a really cool way to, whether you get fit on iPing or you just pick the putters up, generally you're going to know which one feels more comfortable to you, the one more traditionally weighted or the one heavier in weight. And so that's why we named the product family Cadence, because we're here to match the cadence of your putting stroke with the different headweights. So, a lot of people ask us what what do TR grooves do for my game? You know, a lot of companies have grooves on their putters. What does it do to help the ball roll or something like that? What our TR grooves do is they help normalize the ball speed across the face. So obviously there's kind of a statistical revolution happening in golf, a lot of eyes on the statistics. There's a new stat called strokes gained putting out there that's become popular on the PGA Tour, invented by Mark Brody. So what we've done with our TR grooves is taken a look at how can we apply strokes gained to how effective the TR grooves would be. So we've kind of done a thought experiment and said if you're an 18 handicapper, we've looked at mishit patterns around the face and what percentage of the time you're mishitting your putts over 1/4 of an inch off center. And what we've shown is that if you have 6 30-foot putts around, and if you're using TR grooves, now you have, and with how much you mishit, now you have a 3-footer for your second putt instead of a 5-footer. We've used the make percentages for a 90s 18 handicap golfer, and to that end, we've shown that you can improve your strokes gained putting with TR grooves by 2 shots around. So just by playing TR grooves. Now this is a hard thing in putters. There's no launch monitors. It's hard to go into a golf shop or a putting corral and realize how many strokes this is going to take off your game. But applying strokes gained to our TR groove and what that can do to help lower your score was very profound, and certainly something we're going to try to get the word out a little bit more on.